It all started on a stormy night in 1988. Elizabeth Krohn was only 28 years old at the time. She was walking through the rain, holding an umbrella in her left hand and holding her young son's hand with her right. Suddenly, the air got cold and her whole body shivered. A massive bolt of lightning slammed right into her umbrella. There was a loud explosion and a blinding light. But the weird part? Elizabeth didn't feel any pain. "Hi everyone, I'm Dew and welcome to Beyond Vista." She looked over to her right and saw something on the ground. She realized, "Wait, that's me." She looked down and saw that her feet wasn't touching the ground anymore. She was floating a few inches in the air. That's when she knew she had passed away. Right then, a warm golden light appeared and she decided to follow it. It led her to a place she called the garden. She was surrounded by plants and flowers blooming in incredible colors. Colors that don't even exist in our world. Everything there seems to be filled with love. She heard the soft sound of water and beautiful music. It made her feel like she was finally at her true home. Elizabeth stayed there for what felt like 2 weeks. She talked with God and learned many things. Before this happened, she didn't believe in spiritual things at all. But in that garden, she felt joyful and peaceful. While she was there, God talked to her about her life. God told her she had a choice. She could stay in the garden or go back to her body on earth. She asked God, why would someone choose a hard life? God told her that every life has its own hardships. But then God gave her a warning. God told her that if she went back, her husband would not be able to accept her change. Because of this, they would eventually get a divorce. She has to go through one more difficult thing to get back because she's now in a soul form. This body is larger than her physical body. God has to squeeze her side to fit into her body on earth. Even so, she chose to go back for her children. She felt a strong pressure, like her bones were being crushed into a tiny space, and suddenly she woke up on the wet ground of a parking lot. After coming back, Elizabeth's outlook on life completely changed. To her, that heavenly garden felt like the real world, and her life on earth felt like a dream. Most people think earth is real and heaven is a dream, but for her, it was the opposite. After this experience, she gained a special ability. She could dream about the future. On July 16, 1996, she dreamed of a plane called TWA-800 crashing into the ocean with 230 passengers. She woke up feeling very upset because the dream felt so real. 2 days later, that exact plane crashed, and sadly, all 230 passengers lost their lives. She was scared and told her husband, Barry, about it, but he couldn't accept what was happening. He thought she was going crazy. 10 days later, he moved out, and just like God has warned her, they eventually got a divorce. In January 2009, she was on vacation in Jerusalem with her second husband, Matt. She took a short nap and had another dream. After waking up, she immediately emailed the details to herself to keep a record. Then she told Matt, "I just saw a plane floating on the water with people standing on the wings." Matt laughed and said, "That's impossible. Planes are too heavy to float." But the next morning, it was on the news. A plane landed on the Hudson River in New York with people standing on the wings and waiting for rescue. It was exactly what she saw in her dream. It is about U.S. Airways Flight 1549 in 2009. The plane struck a flock of geese, causing the engine to fail, but thanks to the pilot, all 155 people were saved. In 2011, she had another dream about a crash. In the dream, she met a woman named Monique who was crying and asking Elizabeth to save her son, Thomas. Elizabeth woke up in tears. She again emailed herself the details. 3 days later, a major plane crash happened and there were no survivors. When the list of people on the plane was released, she saw the names, Monique and her 7-year-old son, Thomas. People might think her ability is cool, but she doesn't like it. She says it's very difficult to know a tragedy is coming and not be able to do anything to stop it. Elizabeth also started seeing spirits. She says a female ghost lived in her house. The ghost simply walked quietly from room to room without disturbing the family. Even her dog can see the ghost. It often barks at empty corners when there's no one standing. One time, her daughter invites some friend over to watch a movie. Suddenly, one boy screamed, "What is that?" and ran out of the house. Elizabeth knows he has seen the spirit. She believes her house has a history connected to this spirit, which is why the spirit has never left. This might sound hard to believe, but think about light. Human eyes can only see the visible spectrum of all existing light. Some people can see light outside of that spectrum, meaning they can see things that the majority cannot. Elizabeth used to be a non-believer, but after having a near-death experience, she saw God in heaven with her own eyes. She changed her outlook on life and her worldview. How about you? Have you ever seen God or had a miraculous dream before? Please leave a comment below. I'm Du. Thank you for watching and see you next time.